we want to get to the latest now. The search is underway in a pond after a canoe capsized last night with 4 people on board.
3 of them were rescued. The 4th, though, is still missing. Crews are still searching today above and below the surface. Our Brandon Schaff is there.
First responders focusing on this pond in the Willows neighborhood, set up behind a home on Sheehan Place. A 54-year-old man from Indy went missing here on Thursday night after the canoe he was on with 3 family members turned over.
So right now we're in recovery mode. We know that there's someone in there, and obviously we need to find him. So we're using lots of different technology here today and what we used last night.
You can actually see the camera that the crews are using here. Indiana DNR, along with Pike firefighters, are over here checking out the water. DNR also using side-scan sonar, an aerial drone, and divers to aid their search. DNR explained thick underwater vegetation makes recovery efforts more difficult. First responders took 2 of the 3 people rescued to the hospital, who have since been released. DNR says the 4 family members were not wearing life jackets. Brian Powell was visiting his girlfriend's house nearby when emergency crews arrived to the neighborhood on Thursday evening. He says they quickly blocked off the area and got out on the water to help.
I pray that they find the one that they're looking for and then the other members will be okay. But things happen, and when you don't follow rules or safety, no one had life jackets on, so it's a sad thing.
When it comes to water safety, DNR says wearing a life jacket is most important, since accidents like this can happen quickly.
As soon as these weather temperatures go up, people want to come out on the water and recreate and swim and keep cool. It's just imperative that you have life jackets and PFDs with you when you're going to go out onto these waters.
Searching high above and down below to find this missing family member. On Indy's northwest side, Brandon Schaff, 13 News.
The DNR says crews are going to stay there all day long to try and find that missing man. Of course, we'll let you know when there are any new developments on that.
We're getting reaction today to the Supreme Court clearing the way for the Trump administration to end temporary protected status for hundreds of thousands of immigrants.
That decision came down yesterday, and the ruling impacts thousands of Haitians who currently call Indiana home. Our 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker talked with some of them today. Emily, so how are they feeling about this?
I mean, look, simply put, people are afraid. I spoke on the phone today with some folks who are from Haiti, but who are American citizens. They have deep ties in the Haitian community here in Indiana, and they are hearing from Haitians who live here. These are people who, until yesterday's ruling, had something called temporary protected status. That means they were legally allowed to be in the United States and work here. But after yesterday's ruling, that TPS status is gone and their future is uncertain. So let's explain what temporary protected status is. It's one of the ways immigrants can qualify to live and work in the United States legally. TPS gives people from certain countries permission to stay and work here when it's considered too unsafe for them to return home, maybe because of a war, some kind of natural disaster like an earthquake, or even a disease outbreak. Last November, the Trump administration ended temporary protected status for Haitians living here. Their benefits were set to end in early February. That didn't happen, though, because a U.S. district court stopped it. The case then went to the United States Supreme Court. Yesterday, the court ruled in a 6-3 decision that the Trump administration could continue moving forward with its original decision to end TPS for immigrants from Haiti and Syria. So far, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security hasn't laid out what comes next for immigrants from Haiti and Syria with TPS status. A nonprofit that works with immigrants here says clients are scared and don't know what's next.
These are human beings. These are members of our community. They play in the park with us. Their kids go to our schools. This administration has just disrupted the lives of at least 10,000 Central Indiana Hoosier families. And what does that mean for them? They don't know. They're scared.
There are others here in Indiana celebrating yesterday's ruling, like Attorney General Todd Rokita, who put out a post on X calling the SCOTUS ruling, quote, a massive win for the rule of law. Rokita said communities had been inundated with TPS migrants, and the SCOTUS decision would, quote, help ease the strain on Hoosier schools, hospitals, housing, and taxpayers caused by unchecked migration. So keep in mind, in Haiti right now, Haiti is under a level 4 do not travel advisory from the State Department. That's the highest level of warning against travel to a country because of life-threatening dangers. So Haitians here now without their temporary protected status, wondering what their options are now and waiting to find out what those options could be from the federal government.
And how does this play out from there? Is there a plan to
That's
hear
what-
more from the federal government on what's supposed to happen?
I mean, that's what everyone is kind of waiting for, right? With all the folks that work with immigrants, the folks that are here that had this temporary protected status, the big question now is, okay, now what happens? What do we do now?
For families who were within the law and now the law has changed. And now what do we do?
That's right. Their
Okay.
temporary protected status is gone. They were here legally. They had this status legally. They had work permits. Now the Supreme Court ruling says that temporary protected status is gone, so it's gone. So now what does that mean for them practically?
Okay.
What do they do now?
Well, I know you'll continue to follow it,
For sure.
and we thank you for it.
Yep.
Appreciate it, Emily.
Thank you. All right, let's get to Rob.
Yeah, we are still tracking showers and storms for tonight, but tomorrow another chance for storms as the pattern begins to change. I'll talk about what that means for the 7-day coming up.
All right, Rob, thank you. Also gearing up for the 4th.
The big numbers traveling this holiday. That's ahead at 4:30. First at 4, GLP-1s and weddings.
Why some brides are slimming down and hitting snags because of it leading up to their big day. We'll explain when we come back.